What's up, folks? How you doing? It's Kenneth McLaurin. Y'all in the Kenneth McLaurin Comedy Room today. I'm with my man, Louie Muhammad. What's up, baby? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? How you doing out there, man? And wherever you at? Out here in the city of Las Vegas. I couldn't find your location, but you gonna let me know where you at?
Yo, man, I'm in Ithaca, but right now, man, we on the World Wide Web, so I'm doing it big now. Kenya, Ithaca, North Carolina, Ethiopia, we're being seen all over the place.
Ithaca, you doing it large in Ithaca.
How long you been doing comedy, Louie?
I started doing comedy about like 2003, so I say about like 8 years. Took a short break, little vacation. Actually, I got put out my girlfriend's house, and sleeping in the car was not really. It wasn't comfortable to go home to a good set in the back seat of a cab.
Actually, that seems like you could get a whole bunch of material just about that.
If I had a nightlight, I probably could have did that. I would save my batteries. I could drive off the next day before the police pull up. That's what I was doing. I took that brief break and I came to Las Vegas, got back in. Man, it's been lovely so far. Lovely so far.
Okay, man. So why'd you start doing comedy?
Why comedy? I had lost a job and my girlfriend was laughing at me one night. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try to do that and get paid for that. So I went down to the comedy club and I thought I was going to go straight up, but I sat in the back of the room for like 2 months. So while I was doing that, I was learning from the other comedians. The more I kept watching comedy, I can do this. I can't. It was around that time when Comedy View was on,
Yeah.
and shows on Comedy Central. Man, stand up was getting a lot of attention.
Right.
And I thought those guys were getting paid. Apparently not.
You mentioned Eddie Murphy. Who have been some other your comedy influences?
Dave Chappelle, Cedric the Entertainer, of course. Bernie Mac, D.L. Hughley. I think I kind of remind myself of D.L. Hughley because of the fast delivery.
Okay.
The only downside of that is that you got to write more jokes. If you're gonna deliver, you got to have jokes for jokes for jokes. But I kind of find myself sounding like him when I play it back. So definitely D.L. Hughley. Just those kind of comedians that have range.
Okay.
I don't have any baby mamas. I married my baby mama. We married. Been married 6 years. So I don't pay child support or nothing like that. So I can't relate. I can relate to observations though. I can do that. And just general struggles of every day. That's all about it. But yeah, those kind of. Of course, Richard Pryor, of course.
Since you've been doing it like 8 years, have you traveled a lot, or are you mainly based in Vegas?
Travel in between Nevada and California. I haven't really been like out back east or anything like that. I'm trying to get there now. The social networking is up. It makes it a little bit easier to, make contacts and get out there. But no, I'm mainly just between California and Nevada. That's where I performed at. I'm going to LA next week. My first time going to LA, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh man, that's cool. So what's been your best comedy experience?
Man, let's see. The best one I had, it's been a few of them, man. I mean, I think it was probably here when I first got booked. We did here a comedy show at the House of Blues, and I got booked there. I think that was pretty big because, you're always looking at what can make your resume attractive. You know what I'm saying? I can say I can perform on the Strip multiple times, and that's something that many people can't say. So that was one of the highlights. Yeah.
Okay. And what's been one of the worst experiences in your comedy career?
Oh, man. It's can I bring out the list? No, I would say it was like awkward and like I wanted to get the hell out of the game right then and there. I was doing this show one time back home in Sacramento.
Yeah.
A lady I went to school with came to the show, and I had seen it's like you see something, but you don't really necessarily pay attention to it. But she had an accident, I guess, between the time I saw her and that comedy show. So she walked with a limp, like one foot was longer than the other. So I was doing a joke, and she was sitting like in the second row, and I was going into this joke about handicapped people, and my act out was exactly the way she walked. So I was like, I was in the, and like everybody in the front row was kind of looking at her, looking at me. I was like, damn, you know what? In the back of my mind is talking, I'm like, she limp like that. I wasn't even talking about her. How do I get out of this? So I was like, I was apologizing. And it was just ridiculous, man. But I felt bad, because it was cool. But she was all right about it. But it just, for me being a comic, I ain't never let that down.
Oh man, that is funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
And I'll let everybody know we hooked up on Connected Comedy. I'm gonna go ahead
Yeah,
and
I love that
plug it.
site. I love that group.
I do too, man. I think it's a great group, man. It's a lot of comedy resources in there. If you
Yeah.
think about it, man, it's a lot of hours on stage and a lot of knowledge that's in that group.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely awesome, man. You got Connected Comedy, Connected Comedian. I think we linked up through Connected Comedians, if I'm not mistaken,
Yep,
right?
that's it.
Did we see each other on Connected Comedians?
Actually, I don't know. I think you were hitting me up. It's like I had a post. I posted something, and everybody was getting on my ass about the post. I think I saw you getting on me about it as well. So I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, man. Hey, you get that feedback in that group. You got some opinionated comedians. I love it there.
Most definitely,
Yeah.
man. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I saw you actually had a YouTube video about this as well, is urban
Yeah.
comedy.
Right, right.
What's your definition of urban comedy?
Urban comedy, man, is just I'll give my personal definition and then I'll give what the industry seems to make it to be. My personal definition is just the black experience in terms of things that we have went through growing up, living, and that's a wide range. I could be a gospel comedian, I could be a hood comedian, a corporate comedian. It's just a whole bunch of different things under one umbrella. But the industry has made it as though like it's just it takes us back like 50 years, man. Urban comedy and even how we interpret it. It's a lot of times like I'll do black rooms and the dude that's killing the most is talking about like my baby mama's this or you ever been so broke or man, I'm drunk, I'm drinking, I'm high. I'm like it's just annoying sometimes, man. It's funny because we have a black president now, and like black people are going up ahead, but we still demand the lowest form of entertainment. You know,
That's interesting, man.
I was telling a white comedy the other day. It was like black comedy and white comedy is just the same as a black church is a white church. If you go in a white church, everybody's quiet. The preacher's delivering his sermon, where everybody's going to the scriptures. They're paying attention. But you go in a black church, if the preacher doesn't shout out, talk to me, and engage the audience, then it won't really be a church. That's why most of the churches are packed are the ones that have like live choirs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a call and response. That goes all the way back to our history of call and response. We used to, say it to me, talk to me. So you get like you may think it's a heckler, but it's actually just black people trying to be a part of the show.
That's
You
it.
know. And another thing I would say too is that I'm still working on a joke on this. It's been done to death, I think, though. But how black people we act differently at home than we do on the job. At work, we corporate, we clean. Yes, how you doing? And then we get home, we just let it all hang out. And that's kind of what the comedy club is for us. It's a release. The club, the comedy club, we've been somebody else all week. So now the club, man, we get to hang out. We get to wear our bright orange shoes and our top hat and
Yeah.
we get to wear the fake Gucci purses, the Moochies and all that stuff. So hanging out. So if you come on stage in that flow, you got to fit what we trying to do. If you don't fit that flow, we don't want to hear all that cerebral stuff.
No.
We don't want to hear about your corporate problems. We want to talk about right now how niggas get down.
That's it, man. Do you have a favorite joke?
Of my own or in general?
In general, of your own?
Well, my favorite joke is I talk about like how I quit drinking. That I pull that cheap applause break out of there. I've been sober for 6 years. And I was like, I was having a hard time, but I was having problems because my favorite drink was a Long Island iced tea. And I get a little reaction. And I say, well, Long Islands are good, but you can't buy Long Island wherever you go. I was at a bar and I ordered Long Island, and the bartender said it was $22.50. Like, look, just make that a Brooklyn iced tea. I'm sorry, I can't go that far. Yeah, I was having problems. I mean, during the holidays, I drink brandy and eggnog, but one year I bought the wrong brand. I bought 2% eggnog. People, let me tell you something. If you drink 2% eggnog, there's a 90% chance you're going to shit on yourself. So I'm not going to another thing about, like, I'm addicted now to the McDonald's sweet tea. And I say, you know, they did a good job with the sweet tea, but I think that they subcontracted an old black slave to just be in the back making tea all day. When I acted out, that gets very, that joke, that's one of those, you know, my favorite jokes I have are the ones that I could do anywhere. You know,
Right.
you have jokes that work in any setting. I've done it in a black room, old, young, mixed. Those are the jokes you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like one of those jokes. It's like my icebreaker too, and it always works no matter where I'm at.
That's good, man. One thing you
Yeah,
talked about is acting out. I know as a new comedian, and for a lot of other new comedians, it's something that we don't really understand. Was it
yeah.
something that came natural to you, or is it something that you had to work on?
Well, there's a little bit of a, I would say both, because when you first start out, you do act outs, but you don't actually understand that there's a method to an act out. When you're doing a joke and you hear type of laughter, you know that you can go into an act out and it'll flow right to a bigger laugh or a longer laugh. So what I did was I started listening more on my sets. Like if I'm doing a joke and I'm in it, I'm grooving, and I hear the laughs. If the laugh is already strong, I can build on top of that laugh by going to an act out. And I usually don't. I just kind of flew. It just happens. Like I just did the one right here. I was
Right.
doing this joke one time, and I started doing that, and I started getting laughs. So I said, okay, I'm gonna just use the power of three. I'm gonna make three turns. Then I throw some crack in there, and I go around again. So it's all about listening, man, to the audience. You know, and they give you the feedback. Like a lot of times when you first starting out, I seen people just do an act out, just do it, and then they wonder why the joke died. You know, and listen, they weren't ready to laugh, and then you try to jump on top of them with a laugh that wasn't there. Basically,
Man, what else you got? What else you got going on in Vegas? What you gonna be doing soon?
say what?
What you got going on in Vegas? What's
Oh, okay. So right now, I just got the website up, www.louiemuhammad.com. Of course, I'm on Twitter. Of course, I'm on Facebook. I put that name so I can find more of my old friends. But I'll be hosting September 19th. I'll be hosting the 10 o'clock show at the World Series of Comedy. There were so many contestants that applied this year, they have to have wild cards. They have 3 extra shows, and the winners out of each of those shows will go into the actual competition. So
okay?
be great, man. I mean, because I get a chance to be a part of it. I didn't make the cuts. I think it was because the tape I gave wasn't. And if anybody's out there watching, have a good video. That's all I can say. My video wasn't sufficient enough to get me in because there were some comments I know that I was slayed, but they got in. I didn't. That's another thing. But that got a few shows going on. I got a show on the 12th at in LA or Santa Monica at the Little Theater. Still get the details on that one. That's going
Right.
to be next Monday. Um, I'll be at of course, the Las Vegas Comedy Show later on. That'll be at Alexis Park in Las Vegas. The headliner is Joe Lowers, and he's also he's the creator of the World Series of Comedy. So I'll be over there featuring, just trying to get as much stage time, man, and pay the bills in the meanwhile too.
I understand that. I understand that. Well, man, I'd like to thank you for sitting down and talking to me.
I appreciate it.
Yo, man,
You know,
everybody, this is my man Louie. What is it, Louie Muhammad?
Louie Muhammad.
You know,
Louie
you
Muhammad.
about like me. You got a whole bunch of different Facebook names and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah. I keep them guessing, man. I tell people when I go on stage, I'm like, yes, my name is Louie Muhammad, but I'm not that kind of Muslim. I'm not that kind. You turn your back, I'll fight your bacon sandwich. That's all I'm saying. So don't worry about it. I'm not that type of Muslim. We ain't blowing up nothing or anything like that. But we do backslide from time to time. You know what I'm saying?
But most definitely, man, Louie Muhammad, I appreciate it. You stepping in the Kenneth McLaurin Comedy Room.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, man.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, I can get you up to Ithaca, New York, man.
Yeah, man, we gotta put that together, man. I got some friends out there in New York. mainly like in New York City. And I don't know where my other buddies at. He's out there in New York, but man, I heard this is nice. That's the place where a comedy need to be at. The state of New York. Y'all got it all out there.